Hey yo, y'all, I'm Anton.
And I'm Taylor Day.
And we are simply
marvelous.
You heard. How are you doing today, T?
I'm chilling like a villain in Milan. I don't know. How are you?
I don't know where Milan is. That's a city in Wakanda. We don't know.
Yeah. It's a sister city. Another satellite city.
Okay.
You know.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Well, we are here to talk about Loki. We got 4 weeks to go before the Loki series premieres on Disney Plus. So we figured we would go back in history and figure out how the hell did we get a Loki TV show. And if you've seen Endgame, hold on, spoiler alert!
Spoiler alert.
That brother dead in the mud right now.
Woo!
That brother dead in the mud right now.
Woo!
Oh my goodness. So how in the world is he here giving us TV series?
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to talk about that. But before we do that, can you please tell them where they can find us and all that good stuff?
Hit us up online on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at simply_marvelous. That's Marvel and just us. Hit us up, give us a follow. Also hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. So when you
Yeah.
So you know when we have stuff coming to you.
Not them.
Not them.
Not them folk over there.
No. It's for you, baby.
You.
It's for you.
All right. So let's get into it.
First, I have to ask you.
Okay.
How do you feel about moving from Fridays to Wednesdays now?
In the words of, I forget what the sketch was called on Living Color, but...
Hated it.
Hated it. I mean, you know, I'm sure it's part of an overall strategy for Disney. They're releasing things on Fridays all the time. And Marvel usually takes the spotlight. So moving them up to Wednesdays kind of gives them some breathing room probably, I would assume. But for me, I don't like it because, first of all, I got to work the next day. Mm-hmm. You know, it kind of takes some of the fun off of it because I'm off on Fridays and Saturdays. You know what I mean?
You can soak it in all weekend long.
It's something you've been waiting for all week. It's an event.
Yeah.
Everything Marvel does is an event. So I don't like it. How do you feel about it?
It definitely takes the wind out of your sails, especially since this has already become like a habit for like all of the viewers. It's Fridays or Friday wee hours of the morning to watch. So it's definitely going to be an adjustment. I think we're probably going to stay to stick to releasing our videos on Friday, just so you guys know, unless we do like a Friday night thing. But I'm just saying, of course, in an ideal situation, we would be watching on Friday, releasing the show on Friday. But now it's Wednesdays and Fridays. It's like,
it's tough.
I see business-wise why you guys had to do that, but it don't mean I like it.
Definitely don't. I know I don't like it.
Hated it.
And another thing about that is, it's hard to avoid spoilers all the way until Friday if it comes
really
out on Wednesday.
I don't know how we're going to do that. I don't know how we're going to do that.
All right, let's discover the history of Loki.
Yeah. First Thor movie, we know that we get introduced to Loki. He's the god of mischief. He's the brother to Thor, son of Odin, but actually he's the adopted son of Odin.
Absolutely.
And is the offspring of King Loki, the frost giant.
On Jotunheim.
On Jotunheim.
I bet you can't spell it.
I really can't right now. But so he was abandoned by King Loki, and Odin found him and thought it was some good optics and pulled a Madonna and brought him home. And he didn't know that he was an adopted individual and all these things until an adult, and he was always in Thor's shadow. He wanted to ascend and prove himself and take over the throne, but he finds out I have no claim to the throne because I'm not even a real Odin son. I'm not a real Asgardian.
He did like Frigga.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did like Frigga. She taught him everything he knew.
Yeah.
Magic and all the sorcery, or what do they call it? Witchcraft. She is a witch, right?
That's what Asgardian witches,
yeah,
I guess. Yeah.
Witchcraft and
Asgardian sorcery.
Brother Loki, he gets his backstabbing on during the coronation of Thor. He lets the frost giants in to come steal an artifact. I can't remember what it's called.
It was the casket of winters or something like that.
Well, Odin apparently took that from Jotunheim. Is that to
Yeah.
strip them of their power?
Yeah, they would use that thing to go and conquer other planets and turn them into like icy tundras.
So they can get their winter games on.
Yes, literally.
Yeah.
They said winter's coming, and it did. And then until Odin was like, nah. I think I looked it up too. Something about how like they were trying to, like the next place they were trying to attack with that was Earth. And Odin was like, nah, homie, I'm going to take this from you. Earth has enough problems on their own. They can do bad all by themselves. Like, nah.
Outer space aliens, do they think Earth got it going on like that?
No!
Why everybody want to come to Earth and try to take us over?
Because we're the easiest to defeat. What? Like, we're the easiest to gentrify. Like, we think we're like all that and a bag of chips.
Right.
We're the easiest to gentrify. Come on now.
No, the first movie, Thor, he was, to make a long story short, he fell through a wormhole, and in this space he encounters the guy we all know as Thanos.
The Purple Titan.
Yes. And he was given the scepter to go to Earth to retrieve the Tesseract. Yeah, and that's how we get the villain, Loki. And then...
A god, you dull creature! And I will not be bullied by that!
Damn!
Puny god.
Thor 2.
Only for Asgard to get invaded again by the Dark Elves and Malekith. I think that was his name. And during that invasion, Thor frees Loki so he can assist in saving Asgard.
Yeah.
And Loki does what he does. Backstabs, fakes his own death to become king of Asgard.
Yeah. He like puts on his daddy's face and is like, haha.
Father?
Bullshit.
My son Thor has returned.
Yeah, Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah, Thor Ragnarok. When Thor shows back up, we see Loki chilling, eating some grapes.
Watching a story of his own life.
Right.
I love it. You know what's funny? Marvel's really good at making narcissism funny. Like anybody, like Tony is like all about himself. We think it's funny, and like most people love him. There are still a select few who are like, nah. Same with Doctor Strange, Loki.
Absolutely. But yeah, they do love that.
They do love.
They're pretty good at it though. They're pretty good at it.
I mean, maybe narcissism is like too strong a word. They're like very self-centered egomaniacs, I guess.
Yeah.
It kind of is an anti-hero. It's like, oh, so good to be bad. Like.
Yeah, he's bad, but he comes through in the clutch sometimes.
Yeah.
And it's usually just for his own personal ego.
Yeah. And that's what he did in Thor Ragnarok.
Your savior is here!
So, how do you feel? Okay, so for the first 3 movies that we saw Loki, he was very much like kind of the same character, not a lot of growth. Then Ragnarok, he's like does like a kind of like a 90-degree turn and is very different than we had seen in the past. How did you feel about how he was portrayed in Ragnarok? Oh, not like this scheming, conniving person, but it's like, oh, like, haha, that trickster.
Right. True.
You know.
I mean, yeah, it's hard for me because I don't forget about who you really are.
Oh.
You know, I don't forget it. So you're sitting there watching the entire movie like I just know he's gonna flip, he's gonna flip, he's gonna flip, he's gonna flip.
Waiting.
Yeah, I'm just waiting the whole time, but it kind of shows the what was really at stake for this movie for him not to flip out because obviously his whole planet is at stake at that time. So he really needs to be there for being there in the clutch for him. And they've lost their mother together, their dad. They've lost all these people, so they really only have each other in the end. And eventually you'll get it. You lose everything, you'll get it. So Loki is Loki.
Yeah.
To me, he's not one of my favorite characters. I do like him, but I don't have a Loki flag like a lot of people do.
There are a lot of people out here.
Love Loki.
Y'all sick.
Loki in Endgame, who's on that ship, and Thanos shows up. He's here for the stone, because guess what Loki did while on Asgard?
You got them sticky fingers.
He just can't help himself.
He can't.
He can't help
Klepto.
himself. Yeah, and Thanos basically destroys everything on the ship, including Loki.
Yes.
Oh man. When you first saw it, was it all up in here with yours?
Okay, so like we have to point out with Endgame and Loki is that let me go back to like Ragnarok, because I feel like in that moment him saving Asgard was his like moment that he proved that he could have been a good king if he hadn't been so caught up in himself in trying to prove it. That was like okay. So then he grabbed the Tesseract, had concealed it. No one knew until Thanos came onto the ship.
Right.
And so he's like, I'm here with the Tesseract. Even though it's interesting, like if it had have stayed on Asgard, it would have been destroyed in the Hellfire, right?
I don't know if it would have been destroyed. Can he really destroy that?
I mean, if
or would it just be out there floating in space?
I don't know. Anyway, but what got me was that we've seen Loki die and resurrect, or like fake his death, or he can multiply himself, like all kinds of like different things. So the fact that Thanos grabbed him by the neck and was like, no more resurrections. Like, it was like, what? Like, wait, what? And it was at the top of the film.
That's what got me.
The top of Infinity War. I was like, so we have to do the rest of Infinity War and Endgame without Loki? Like, he's been here as long as, like, the major six have.
Yes. 10 years running.
That was crazy. But, of course, nobody in Marvel is really dead unless you're really dead.
Unless their contract runs all the way out.
Unless your contract is gone. And I'm sorry to say this, you are literally physically no longer on this earth.
Right.
You can't really die. So, of course, we're dealing with a different Loki now.
Yeah. Yes, we are. Endgame comes up, and your boys, Avengers, time traveling.
Yeah.
Go back to the end of Avengers 1 to retrieve, was that the Tesseract?
The Tesseract again.
Yeah, the Tesseract again. And they
fumbled the bag.
They fumbled. And your boy, guess who's there, of course, to scoop up the fumble, and that is Loki.
Yeah.
And he disappears into whatever.
The ether.
Yeah.
Not that ether, but just
he was out there. And then he lands in the null zone, apparently.
Yeah.
And that's where we get the Loki series.
Loki!
Yes.
I'll put it in like a Loki, like
What do we know about this show?
Okay, so we know that main character is Tom Hiddleston. We know that Owen Wilson plays Mobius.
Mobius.
Yes. So we've mainly seen those two like distinguishably in the trailers so far. Mm-hmm. We know those two are in there. We know Gugu Mbatha-Raw. Gugu Mbatha-Raw's in there. We looked up and found out that she may connect with Kang the Destroyer, King the Conqueror, mm-hmm. and that character will come up later in Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania.
I'm not totally sold that he might show up in this show though. It's possible.
Yeah.
But fully formed, I believe it's straight Ant-Man.
Yeah.
And the Wasp. So
we have Wunmi Mosaku, who for all of you guys out there who watched Lovecraft Country, She was in Lovecraft Country. Fantastic.
She get those? She get these?
That whole show gets these. But another thing that we do know beyond cast list is that the writer for Loki, Michael Waldron, is actually one of the writers for Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness.
You heard?
And that's a big deal.
Yeah. Loki, set in the alternate universe, I guess, called the Null Zone, governed by the TVA, which is the Time Variance Authority. And Mobius, Mobius, played by Owen Wilson, seems to be one of the managers of this place. And he has taken custody of Loki, and he is about to send him on some missions because he has to fix the timeline.
Yeah.
The timeline that our boys and women, Avengers,
everybody,
messed up. Yeah, fumbled the bag.
Yeah.
So, he's going to be doing all type of missions. We get references to DB Cooper, and I'm sure a whole bunch of other things. So my question is, do you think we're going to have any surprise visits in this show of people that we want to see, or we've already seen, or anything?
I don't think anyone major is going to show up, and this is why. This is the only reason why I'll say that. It's because if you've seen any new Rockstars videos,
Hi, I'm Eric Voss, and this is New Rockstars.
This is New Rockstars. Get our merch. Get our t-shirts. But no, we love that.
Yeah, we rock with y'all.
We
Pretty
rocking
sure.
with y'all because y'all rocking with us.
Yeah, straight up.
But he had pointed out that it was confirmed that Doctor Strange was supposed to appear in WandaVision.
Yeah.
But that didn't happen because they didn't want to take the focus off of Wanda.
Right.
I just feel like the same's going to happen for Loki.
Mm-hmm. I can dig that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I dig that.
Unless they're adjacent characters, again, like Gugu's character, who's going to connect with King the Conqueror, possibly. It's like, besides that, I don't think there's going to be any major players that are going to appear. Again, referring to like a long ago conversation we had, unless we get the back of Cap's head or his tail, like, we are not going to see Cap. We're not going to see all these other characters. We're just not. It's going to be interesting. Oh, actually, okay. All right. Okay. It's going to be interesting to see how they do it. But I know that in the trailer we were thinking that we saw Wanda. Not Wanda. Not Wanda.
Miss Romanoff or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, Black Widow.
Yeah, we saw Black Widow. Sorry.
Yeah, it's... You got nervous, didn't you? They're about to kill us in the comments. They're going to kill us in the comments.
Anyone else coming for me in the comments? I know in the trailers we saw possibly Black Widow. I don't think that's the case anymore. Because it looked like Vormir, but yet her hair looked like Avengers.
Yeah.
So that wouldn't make sense. And we still have Sophia DiMartino that's supposed to make an appearance. And I guess she's female, Loki. I don't know. I think that's going to be her. I think that's her. Mm-hmm. I think that's her that was sitting on that rock next to Loki.
I mean, it could be. It could be. I don't know. We do hear that we're going to get Lady Loki and possibly some other versions of Loki in the show. But that's all I really know.
That's all we know.
That's all we know.
It's a mystery.
Which is good, though, because going into some of these shows like this and you know too much, you start looking for it. And, it takes away from the experience. Obviously, when the shows start, that's when the fun starts because we get to break down all the little nooks and crannies that come. But
for sure.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's Loki. Yeah. Disney Plus.
That's it.
I can't wait.
I'm interested to see if they mention anything about Nexus.
Oh, the Nexus?
Yeah.
Can you bring that back to me?
So again, Nexus was mentioned as like a pill in the commercials in WandaVision.
Oh, yeah.
But we found out Nexus is like the convergence, I guess, of all the different realities. Yes. Are we gonna? And we know that was like a message actually from Steven. Mm-hmm. So are we gonna get like a piece, a snippet of the Nexus in Loki, or will that be saved for Multiverse of Madness?
I don't know.
We'll have to find out.
We'll have to find out. But it's going to be a total I ain't gonna say that word.
I know what word you were
you already
thinking.
know. You know what word I was thinking, but it's gonna
blow your mind.
Yeah, it's gonna take your mind on a roller coaster for sure, And I think these are the most fun to break down when you have these type of shows. Falcon and Winter Soldier was absolutely awesome. I loved it more than WandaVision, me personally. But when you're talking about theories and things like that, WandaVision was a little more, it had more.
We were running with those theories.
I think Mephisto gonna show up in this show.
You
know what I mean?
I hope he does, just so we can get him somewhere in 2021. Because I know he's in the midst somewhere. He's somewhere.
He's somewhere out there.
He's somewhere in the ether.
Yeah, he is. He's laughing too.
He's laughing.
I gotcha. That wasn't me. Wasn't me. No, it might turn out to be him though in the whole time.
He's like the next big villain is Mephisto. Like, he's the next one. He's going to have all the Avengers down in like Mephisto hell or whatever. And the young Avengers going to be like, okay guys, we have to get together and save the Avengers from hell. That's going to be like, if that comes true.
It's on record now.
It's on record.
She called it. What's happening?
If it comes true, Kevin, call me. Call me, Kev.
Representation in the writer's room. What's up?
Hey.
You heard me?
Yeah.
But yeah. Oh man, so many questions for this show. We don't have the answers, and pretty much nobody does. Okay, one more question, and we're gonna get out of here before we run out of space. All right, so we just watched a couple episodes of Love, Death, and Robots. If you haven't seen it, you should, just because it's one of those that's gonna be like, what? That just happened for real? But I wonder if Loki is going to be similar though. Are most of the episodes going to be like totally visually different? You know, as far as places they visit and things like that, stylistically, are they going to be totally different, or are you going to feel like it's the same show? You know, every time. I'm sure they'll have spots where they're in the TVA and all that, and that'll be the common thread. But outside of that, where everything looked different.
That's a great question. I think that would be awesome if they did do that.
That's what I hope.
I don't know if they're actually going to do that.
You ain't got enough money for this show.
I don't think I don't think Kevin gave them that budget for this show. But at the same time, we already know that Loki's going to have multiple seasons. So things could get, like, you know...
They got a lot of faith in it.
They could get a little crazy.
Yeah.
But I think we're going to mainly get, like, a lot more of that stuff with What If. Because at the end of the day, you have to think about it this way. At the end of the day, this is still on Disney+.
Yes, it is. Just on Disney+. And we've already known that most things on Disney Plus is not really important when it comes to the movies. It's just a little context to the journey of certain characters. But I'm here for it. I'm here for it. So that's what it is. All right. Let's get out of this thing before our memory card runs out.
Yeah.
We could talk about this stuff all day.
All day long.
All day. All right. Once again, I am Anton.
And I'm Taylor Date.
And we are simply
marvelous.
You heard.